Well, I'll tell you, now that you're on my channel, you're going to become famous.
Thank you.
So far in the last 10 days, we've gotten 3,000 flags out across the province, John.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming.
Their idea was to build a French-speaking socialist state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course business is going to leave.
Of course business is going to leave. And people need to understand, that's why business fled Quebec.
Go to unitedalbertaflags.com today and make your donation.
Their heart is Quebec, but their brain is Canada. They know that they don't have the numbers to make it work on a financial and economic level. Alberta, it's the complete opposite. Our brain is Alberta. We know that we could do this on our own. We know that we'd be more prosperous as an independent country.
I asked them, what do you stand on guard for? And that fell on deaf ears.
We are the ones that are standing on guard.
You know, I thought I was part of Canada, but apparently Canada doesn't exist anymore, post-national state. So you know what, Alberta, we're gonna put our foot down.
I got my Carney grocery check here last week.
Uh-oh.
$2.05 to help me with my groceries. My wife and I, we had to split that.
What do you envision an independent republic would be like?
There's a strong case for continuing with constitutional monarchy because it would be a more seamless transition.
The British Empire, when it dissolves, lots of places still kind of, when they are on the path to independence, they keep their ties with the crown.
Yeah.
It's a more seamless transition. So I get this argument, but I'm more like, rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
If you did the constitutional monarchy argument as a transition, you would simply take the powers of the federal crown and merge it with the Alberta Crown.
And then we'd get comfortable and 30, 40 years would go by and then we still wouldn't really enact the changes that we need. If we lose, there's a good chance you'll never be UCP elected again. You know what I mean?
I have no intention of going back to elected office.
Okay.
My big dream is actually a new federation in the West. No one's holding hands with us at the end of the dock to jump into the water. Yeah. We have to jump first. Yeah. But if we do jump, I think Quebec goes. And then the future of the whole northwestern half of our continent is up for debate.
Hey guys, I'm John. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live streaming right now with my big blue beautiful flag and my beautiful wife, Allie. She's supporting me. We're here at the Ranchman's. This is part 2 of my video.
Oh, you?
Hey, how's it going? And I want to meet some of the people who are here. Guys, John Bolton said something earlier there. John Bolton said something earlier. He said, all of you are my friends, and I'm happy to meet you.
How you doing?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for coming out. Hey, thanks so much. What a good turnout. Hey, thank you.
Calgary.
And so, I want to walk around here and meet some of the people on our own here. Hey, thank you so much. Hey.
Yeah.
How's it going? Yeah. Thanks for coming out.
How many flags have you worn out?
This is actually the original one that I've used, but I lost it the other day. I left it at an event like this. And then Albertan, that guy up on that, the guy with the cowboy hat, he saved it for me. So, but it's starting to get a little bit tattered. It's gotten caught in a few fence posts.
What is your YouTube channel name?
My YouTube channel is called Talking to Albertans.
Talking to...
It's easy to remember.
I saw you many times, but I forgot the name.
Well, I feel like I'm talking to some Albertans here. Yeah, hey, thanks so much. Oh, hey, how's it going?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, come on over here. Shake my hand.
Good to see ya.
Hey, thank
Glad
you.
you guys could make it. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Fantastic. Beautiful day, hey?
Yeah, beautiful day. Good turnout here, it looks like. Hopefully they're raising some money and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got United Alberta flags outside. We're handing out free flags. There's the free signs from Keith's campaign.
let's go out there. I want to get a plug. Okay, so he is one of the TPAs doing some of the best work, handing out flags. Tell us first what you do.
John Tompkinson, we are unitedalbertaflags.com. We are changing hearts and minds across the province in support of Alberta independence, handing out free Alberta flags from the top of the province to the bottom of the province.
Yeah.
We are grateful for the absolutely overwhelming support in the last 2 weeks. $20,000. So far in the last 10 days, we've gotten 3,000 flags out across the province, John.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming.
Wow.
We get lineups
Wow.
at different occasions. We're getting to parades. We're getting to events. We're having people contact us on the website.
Wow.
We have 2 pickup locations today in Calgary for Calgarians that have asked for Albertan flags so they can fly them proudly to paint the province blue.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just Alberta flags. You give them out for free. And
We
so,
have-
what's
we
your
have-
website again?
UnitedAlbertaFlags.com.
Okay.
We have regular Alberta flags. We
Yeah.
have Alberta Independence flags. We have Alberta flags with the provincial motto, strong and free, on them. We have little flags, regular flags, big flags. The backdrop over there, that 18 by 12 foot flag, that's one of our flags.
Yeah.
And here, for the rest of the day, let me give you one of our little flags.
Okay, well, so my neighbor,
Yes.
he just put up one of those Alberta Strong
Strong and free.
free, and it's so beautiful.
It is.
He's got it on an extra large flagpole,
Yep.
and he's right on the corner, and across the street there's a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay, that's how we do this. We got to show our numbers. Don't be afraid. And I've been watching for a couple
Don't
of days.
be afraid. I mean, we talk to so many people who are afraid to speak up, and it's like, we shouldn't be afraid in Alberta to fly an Albertan flag.
Yeah.
It's a sign of our jurisdiction. It's a sign of the province. It represents everybody, no matter your political stripe, no matter your political sway.
Yeah.
It's ours. It's our symbol.
Yeah.
Let's not be afraid. Let's put it up.
Yeah. So how can we support you? How can we donate to you?
Absolutely. Well, we've also got our next level campaign. We're looking at putting up really big ones along the highway corridors for Highway 2, Highway 3, and Highway 16.
Flags.
8 flags.
Really big Alberta flags.
Like, you see the Husky truck stop ones, but we want to cover the province with blue.
Yeah.
So your support is greatly appreciated. We are a registered third-party advertiser, and unlike some of the other third-party advertisers, we follow the rules and we make our financial reports.
Yeah.
So your support will be used efficiently and effectively to make the biggest difference that it can.
Yeah.
Go to UnitedAlbertaFlags.com today and make your donation. We can take e-transfers, we can take credit cards, we can take whatever, or contact us. Our information is at the bottom. Of course, eligible residents in the province of Alberta, only maximum $5,000.
Yeah.
Every bit makes a difference.
Now, I imagine you need some volunteers, and how are you getting the flags to the people? How do the logistics work?
We've been on the road quite a bit, my partner and I, as well as our children and friends and family. We do now have a distribution team and a network set up for Southern Alberta, based out of Calgary, and we're dropping them off.
Okay.
We're in Central Alberta, so we're able to cover Central Alberta. But if you're a volunteer and you're willing and able to support us getting you the batches of flags and lists of people, whether they be in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Medicine Hat, Fort McMurray, Lethbridge, all across the province, really, from High Prairie to Coots,
Yeah.
we will get you a flag. And if you're able to volunteer, make a donation, or help in distribution, we can accept any help that you could give us.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
can contact us right on our website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope people go and support this. This is one of the big ones. And there's 5 or 6 really good ones right now. But the maximum $5,000 donation per person. And so if you give a little bit to this, a little bit to that, just to clarify that. But if you support independence, please put your money where your mouth is. Is that how that phrase goes?
Yep.
Right? It's
And people are voting with their wallets today.
Yeah.
Forget the polls, forget CBC, forget CTV.
Yeah.
When we look at the reporting that's going on with Elections Alberta right now, independent sport is outfunding the reporting on the Federalist side. I think it's about 4 or 5 to 1 right now.
Yeah.
But we're just getting started.
Wow.
We're early in the campaign, and there's hundreds of thousands of flags to get out, tens of thousands of signs to get out, and events to host, so we can talk to the undecided voters and change the hearts and minds of Albertans.
Okay, I want to share a story. So, how powerful these flags are. I drive around with flags on my car quite often, actually. Not when I'm on the highway. But a guy in St. Albert saw me yesterday, riding his bicycle with his family, his kids. He's like, "Hey, I like your flags." I rolled down the window, waved at him, big smile. I had some Corey Morgan lawn signs that I'm handing out, so I'm volunteering. And then I just handed it through the window. And he's like, "Awesome." And so now there's one more sign somewhere up there in St. Albert. And it's that's how we do this, right?
John, funny story. We're also handing out stickers. We've
Stickers.
custom made these, and we
Yeah.
we hand them out to kids.
Oh,
and
but they need to be bigger.
They do, but last night we're driving through Calgary.
Yeah.
We've got the Independence Alberta Float, which is part of our TPA that's been at parades and events all across the province.
Yeah.
We were pulling it through Calgary for Calgary Stampede last night. Going to say hi to Carney while he's in the city. Motorbikers pull up beside us, thumbs up, they're waving. We're able to hand these out in traffic
To the
And they're
motorcyclists.
on motorbikes in the city. when people say fringe minority, it's not a fringe minority. It's overwhelming. Those that are afraid, we can rally and stand together at events like this, putting up our flags, handing out stickers, and make Albertans not be afraid to be Albertan.
Yeah. I still like being an unacceptable fringe. You know what? I had one of those stickers. I don't know who made them. They're from the trucker contest.
There's a few,
I had one of those in my car, and I put the Republic of Alberta sticker right over top of it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to retire it, but I'm like, now is the time. It was all faded, the Canadian maple leaf, and I'm like, it's getting replaced with the Alberta flag now.
Absolutely.
And that's all I want is independence.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's so many other issues. People are talking about data centers. People are talking about political parties. People are talking about the weather. People are talking about, you know what, at the end of the day, those currently are secondary issues because they can be resolved with local decision making with an independent Alberta standing as its own nation, able to consult its own citizens and make its own decisions without what will then become Ottawa's foreign interference.
Yeah. Freedom, baby. Well, thanks so much for all the work
It's
you
great to
do.
see you again.
Yeah,
Have some pancakes. Go say hi to Keith. Go
It's a
say
day.
hi to everybody. It's an amazing day, John, and it's great to see you.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I want to walk around here and mingle a little bit more. Gracias por ayudándome, mi amor. By the way, I couldn't do this without my wife. She gives me so much support. I love her so much. My wife, Ali, te amo mucho. All right, hey, how's it going?
Try and shut us down because they don't like us talking.
How's it going, everybody?
We still do it anyway.
Hey, there you are. I want to shake. Yeah, that took a bit. But you know, I walk into a crowd of like kind of decrepit old people. They're kind of cranky though.
I know. Trust me, I know.
That guy had to follow me around for my safety. Hey, I like that sticker on your hat there. That's nice.
Over here.
While they're all in. You can't.
There's Corey Morgan. Hey, how's it going?
You look a lot larger than you do on your videos on X because I realize now you're
I know, it's getting
holding
pretty
your
bad.
thing up.
Well, and so yeah, like I'm in a crowd. I've kind of learned I got to hold it like this, be a little bit more polite. Hey, thanks so much for coming out.
Yeah, it's good
So-
to see you in person finally.
Yeah. So, what gets you excited about independence?
Well, what annoys me are Canadians who their prime minister in 2015 called Canada post-national state.
Yeah.
And they have the nerve
Yeah.
to tell us that we shouldn't expect to save a certain portion of what we thought Canada used to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like I remember feeling proud to be Canadian. I was proud this was, actually it doesn't mean anything to be Canadian. In my video, I asked the crowd after they sang "Oh Canada," I asked them, "What do you stand on guard for?" And that fell on deaf ears. But what do you stand on guard for? Because I think you still do.
Oh, well, actually, I've given up on Canada.
No, but like you're saving a part of it.
I was a born Canadian.
Yeah.
I choose to be an Albertan. I was born in New Brunswick.
Okay.
I grew up in New Brunswick
Yeah.
and born as Canadian, but I choose to be an Albertan
Yeah.
because Canada doesn't represent the idea that everybody has what Canada used to be.
Right.
So
this is what I'm getting at. It's like we say we stand on guard for thee, right? But like, what does it mean to be Canadian? What are the values of Canadians? I feel like all of that's lost now. And you and me, like you're from New Brunswick, right? Is that what you said?
yeah,
Yeah,
I moved
right.
here early 2000.
And it's like our values, we share that. And Alberta's the last little place that's worth saving.
Yeah, it's definitely
We
worth
stand
saving.
on guard.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
are the ones that are standing on guard.
And it's like
Everybody else
we can't
giving up.
save Canada. Canada's given up on itself. But here we are in Alberta. We're going to stand on guard for thee.
Yeah,
For what we can do.
and it's insulting for people that kept voting for the same guy that said that Canada was a post-nation state,
Yeah.
and now expecting us to fall into line
Yeah.
with their post-nation state. Well, they're not a nation. They admitted it themselves,
Yeah.
electing them 3 more times.
Like, what does that even mean? Like, I want to be part of something. I thought I was part of Canada, but apparently Canada doesn't exist anymore. Post-national state. So, you know what, Alberta, we're going to put our foot down and we're gonna assert
Taking our
ourselves.
heels in.
Yeah.
And we're pulling on the reins.
Yeah, pulling on the reins and yeehaw, let's go.
I have a little story to share with you, though.
Yeah, hey, nice talking to you. Yeah.
I have a little story to share with you. I got my Carney grocery check here last week.
Oh, all $25.
$2.05 to help me with my groceries. My wife and I, we had to split that.
Yeah.
And I just read the other day that Carney's butter on his flight over to Britain was 130 pounds for 1 pound of butter. 130
Whatever, yeah.
pounds.
That's a lot of money. So 1 pound of butter.
$200 for a pound of butter. 200 Canadian dollars for 1 pound of butter.
Yeah.
And I got a check for $2.05. Which I mean, I don't care. It's just a joke anyway. But
Yeah. But like for me, like it's the corruption and the symbolism of it. It's like, how dare he? You know?
I just read the other day again, another one of his flights, $200,000 for in-flight catering.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Like, how dare he lecture us about how we're supposed to live? We're supposed to make sacrifices and cut back and just expect that, oh, the economy is going to fall apart. And, oh, but, you know, we do it because we're united and we have to stand. It's like, no, there's different rules for those guys. They're corrupt, and we want to assert ourselves and create a system of government that actually represents us and protects our values and our hopes and our views of the future. To me, that's what independence is all about.
Even to try to leave a better place for our kids.
Yeah, that's right. A better place
At least
for
the opportunity that we had.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, John, for everything you did.
That's why we do it. It's for our kids. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, Kim? No quiero hablar con Derek. Este hombre es el jefe. 3 jefes aquí. I'm just gonna stand right
I
here.
had the balls to go out today. He did, and he came to a room that was not his own. So good for him. Yeah. We still can't get Kenny to agree, but 24 hours after the debate, the Strong and Free Network reached out. They asked if I would do a debate with Kenny in October. And he would have a hard time saying no to Strong and Free Network because that's conservative establishment.
Base, yes.
That's establishment.
Right on.
So he'll have a harder time saying no to that one. So and if it's October, then that's maybe the one to watch right before the vote.
How about Lupasic? Is he ever going to come out and defend it?
Hey, Curry.
Hey, good to see you.
How about Benji?
Do you have a donation bucket? Because
I haven't been using this spot. This is Keith's.
oh, okay,
Keith's
okay.
turf.
Because I've been handing out some of your signs. A guy drove by, on his bicycle, drove past me when I had my flags on my car, and then he's like, "Hey, I like those." So I handed one of your signs out the window.
Cool. It's the impulse ones, you know. I mean, I was dropping some signs off in Blairmore a little while back.
Yeah.
And then I just saw a guy doing yard work and he had an Alberta flag up front. And I'm not the social extrovert, but what the hell, I'm right there. I said, "Hey, you want one of these?" And he was tickled. You think I was, Santa Claus giving a wow. I had a sign for my lawn finally. Like if we just reach out, there's people out there.
Yeah, for sure.
They asked for people with a shop or something in the area to put signs together. I was thinking of volunteering in the shop I got. It's pretty big. You know who we talked to about there? Volunteer my shop for a sign assembly.
I just signed up to do the sign.
I just want to introduce myself. My name's John. I have a YouTube channel called Talking to Albertans. This is my wife, Allie.
I think I saw a clip of you guys about the debate.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know. I watched your debate.
Great. This is great. Do you have Corey's information or?
Oh yeah, him and I talk all the time.
Connect us through. I really want us to reach out with influencers, content creators, way more. Like we're just kind of beginning to. I want to work with them a hell of a lot more on what we're doing.
Well, I'll tell you, now that you're on my channel, you're going to become famous.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think I saw.
He has a newspaper. He's been in MLA. I'm totally amateur.
Yeah.
Hey, but tell me something. That took a lot to line up that interview. Give me some post thought. Or they didn't today. Sorry. Give me some of your post thoughts. Things you should have done better. Things you think you did good.
Calgary. Independence.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a second. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
One person just here half an hour ago mentioned something to me that I should have included. We were talking about, the Federalist side talks all the time about the flight of capital and people that left Quebec when they had their two different referenda on independence or quasi-independence. And, I said, no, the reason people left and the reason capital left was because of what they would do, what was feared they would do with independence.
Yeah.
That they would actively suppress English, the English language, which is the language of business. We know, and obviously that a huge Anglophone population, they're not going to be happy. They wanted to leave. And also, capital left, of course, because this is Quebec. They would have massively increased taxes, massively increased regulation. Their idea was to build a French-speaking socialist state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course business is going to leave.
Of course business is going to leave. And people need to understand, that's why business fled Quebec.
So that's what I said. But someone just about half an hour ago in the tent here, they mentioned to me what I should have included, and I will in the next debate, if we get one, God willing here, is that capital also left because if Quebec was independent, it would lose equalization. It would become insolvent as a national sovereign state. It simply would not have the fiscal capacity to continue governing the way it does right now. And that's obviously not a problem that Alberta would have. We're not going to lose any equalization.
No.
It's quite the contrary. We're going to have money back in, and money will stop flowing to Ottawa and to Quebec.
So, but do you think that equalization kind of keeps the separatists in Quebec kind of at bay? Because I think there's like some element of, if you throw $13 billion, that's going to create a lot of corruption in the government, and so those people are probably lining their pockets like, let's stay in Canada for that reason.
Well, yeah. Right? So one of the, I've said for a long time on the difference between the Alberta and Quebec independence movements is that for Quebec nationalists, their heart is Quebec, but their brain is Canada. They know that they don't have the numbers to make it work on a financial and economic level. Alberta, it's the complete opposite. Our brain is Alberta. We know that we could do this on our own. We know that we'd be more prosperous as an independent country, but our hearts are still, most of us were born Canadians, and we were proud to be Canadians, a part of that great country. So we have kind of the opposite dynamic.
So Derek, I want to push back a little bit, because I feel like Quebec absolutely could stand on their own. They would have to stop being so socialist, but eventually there'd be a wake-up call of necessity of just how the world works, and they would start developing their resources. I think Quebec could actually be viable on their own.
That's a very fair point. They could, but they could not stand on their own if they continued with the kind of socialist, generous welfare state that they currently enjoy. Their belief among the nationalists is that they could have an even more generous and even more socialist welfare state if they're independent and free of English-speaking Canada. That is a pure fiction that no one credible really believes. But if Quebec was independent, they would find out real quick that the money has stopped flowing, and then they would have to make some tough decisions, and then they probably could.
They would. Then they'd figure it out.
They could stand on their own and be their own country, but they could not do it in the way that they envision right now.
Yeah. Now, I want to kind of shift a little bit and push back. Are you in favor of what do you envision an independent republic would be like? Or do you like kind of more of a constitutional monarchy? Like, where do you stand on this whole debate? Like, after we win the vote, where do you stand? I don't want to put too many words in your mouth.
I think it's, if we are a Republican form of government or a constitutional monarchy is much less important than the bigger question of independence.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I've always argued that that is something that would be decided by a constitutional convention. If Albertans decide that they want to go down the road of independence, we would have to elect a constitutional convention separate from the legislature to decide what our governing structures and institutions will be. That being said, republicanism allows us more flexibility to build checks and balances the way the American system was at least designed to be. That's been corrupted over 250 years and wars and courts. But it was designed with great checks and balances. We could decide to go that way. Alternatively, there's a strong case for continuing with constitutional monarchy because it would be a more seamless transition. Our head of state, I'm no fan of Charles. So do not make me defend Charles. I will not do it. But the institution itself, I will defend as well,
okay, like you could say it like this: 1,000 years, what odd 1,000 years that system has actually worked. And it took a lot to corrupt it, and I think it's finally at the point now it's corrupted. But you think about like the British Empire when it dissolves, lots of places still kind of, when they are on the path to independence, they keep their ties with the crown. It's a more seamless transition. So I get this argument, but I'm more like, rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go, baby.
Well, but I would say one of the strong arguments for it is, Canadian Confederation in 1867 wasn't really independence from Britain. It was just redefining the governing relationship that had more home rule.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the American Declaration of Independence, you know, the hell of the king.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want a declaration.
That, I mean, there's definitely a big portion of my heart that speaks to. But I think it is worth giving serious consideration to the constitutional monarchy because it would mean less disruption. This is a big deal, and it's going to be disruptive no matter what. The Federalists always say, "Oh, it'll be disruptive." You are right, it will be, but I don't think it will be too disruptive. And depending on how we do it, we can make it minimally disruptive. So if we were to essentially just transfer the Canada has 11 crowns. There are actually 11 monarchies in Canada.
11 crowns?
There are 11 monarchies.
Each province territory.
Each one. Because we're not, like municipalities in Alberta and Ontario and Quebec, etc., they're created by legislation by the provinces. They have no constitutional standing. But provinces are sovereign entities. There is a king of Alberta, there is a king of Quebec, there's a king of Ontario, and a king of Canada.
Yeah.
So you would just, if you did the constitutional monarchy argument as a transition, you would simply take the powers of the federal crown and merge it with the Alberta crown. And that's the whole thing.
Okay.
That would be by far the easiest, most seamless, and least disruptive option. Now, that doesn't preclude changing later on, but I think at a minimum, that's probably a good interim step, and it could possibly continuing afterwards as well.
So I really see that. My only worry is that we would, again, get comfortable. You know, we would transition, kind of do it the way that works, and then we would get comfortable and 30, 40 years would go by and then we still wouldn't really enact the changes that we need. Like, I want a system of checks and balances. I want a politician who breaks the law to have double or triple the consequences.
Well, look, we can put in place checks and balances. The Canadian system is already a fusion of the British Westminster system with the American system.
Yeah.
Because the British system did not have federalism. The British system was unitary, just Westminster. That's changed now with the Scottish Parliament and the Welsh Parliament a little bit.
Yeah.
But the Canadian system was already somewhat of a fusing of the two.
Yeah.
We could further fuse it. You know, we could have an upper house to check it. We could have different elected offices to check things. You know, you have a monarch, or say our governor general, whatever you call it. You could actually empower them you could have an elected governor general. You could actually do it still while having a constitutional monarchy.
Okay.
I mean, but this is really, really into the weeds.
Yeah.
And that's why I do believe that's the discussion for a constitutional convention to be elected.
Yeah.
If and when Albertans decide they want to go down the road of independence.
But I also think that it's important to start dreaming right now, because really what we're talking about is founding a nation, right? And a nation needs to have a shared dream, a shared vision for the future. And so that's why it's important for us to have these conversations. What is your dream for the future? So that's a question I'm asking. What's your dream for the future of Alberta? Because you put your reputation on the line for this. If we lose, there's a good chance you'll never be UCP elected again. You know what I mean?
I have no intention of going back to elected office. I get to scratch the itch all I like in the Western Standard and without half the bullshit. So, but I take what you're saying.
Yeah.
My big dream is actually a new federation in the West, the whole West, and at least 2 of the 3 territories, maybe all 3. And I know it's hypothetical, but not that hypothetical.
Minus the Lower Mainland. That could be an Indigenous heritage site.
Yeah, the Lower Mainland pisses me off, but I mean,
I really don't want
them. We
them.
can outvote them. If Alberta was to become independent, Quebec would leave the next day. As I said, Quebec stays for the brain argument, the money. If Alberta's gone, Quebec has to become a net contributor to Ottawa. How many minutes do you think they stay in Canada if they're paying in instead of out?
Yeah.
So
they might beat us out the door, by the way.
So I genuinely believe that if Alberta was to become independent, Quebec would leave soon after, and that would probably, at that point, that starts a domino reaction, and we have the opportunity to build a new federation across the whole West. That's putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
That is not happening unless Alberta jumps first. No one's holding hands with us at the end of the dock to jump into the water. Yeah. We have to jump first. Yeah. But if we do jump, I think Quebec goes. And then the future of the whole northwestern half of our continent is up for debate.
Yeah. And see, this is why I bring this up, because a lot of people who are opposed to independence, they talk about like landlocked and trade, Canadian dollar and all this. It's like, no, independence is going to be such a shock to our system that everything is going to be up for change, and everything will change. And things that are breaking kind of deserve to be broken quickly so we can just fix it. And that's where I see Canada right now. It's broken, it's breaking. Let's break it completely and start over. And you can have a republic, a Western Republic. I like that.
I mean, I in many ways still feel very Canadian. I was born and raised Canadian. Yeah. I love old Canada. I mean, old Canada was still always unjust to Alberta. Alberta was always treated as a colony. So I won't over-romanticize the past. But it was still a country, at least, that was proud of its history, proud of its traditions, had achieved great things. Yeah. But that country, as I said at the debate, that country is ashamed of its own flag until we raised Alberta's flag in defiance. Yeah. That country tore down the monuments to Sir John MacDonald and Queen Victoria. That's not a country proud of itself. Yeah. I'm proud of Canadian history more than the people who live in the Maple Leaf right now. So I think in the long term, I think we have a real opportunity to build a whole new Canada in the West.
Yeah, well, and it's actually been said to me that maybe we end up joining back with Canada, and maybe it's like a united federation.
No, we allow them to join us under the new rules.
Under the new rules.
Under the new rules that are fair to all the provinces, they can join us.
Yeah, but look, this is the ebb and flow of history.
Yeah.
Countries change their borders. When people come together and they're united, they get to a certain point where they're economically viable to become their own country. And Alberta is at that point right now.
Yeah.
This is where I firmly believe they are. I think Saskatchewan will join us. Quebec will leave. We're going to get Northern BC. And then that'll be the first step.
No, Saskatchewan doesn't join. Saskatchewan joins us. I think Quebec still does its own thing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much, Derek.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
It was great.
Reach out to me or my office. I want to report for you guys.
Hey, where is your office?
We're right downtown. But just contact us.
For some reason, I always picture you at your riding office, where that used to be. Thanks, Derek. Oh, that lady there wanted to say hi, but she wandered off. Huh? Pause? Okay, guys, I'm actually going to end this video right now and do a part 3 here. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.